Welcome back to episode 7? Episode 7
Yes.
of the Dallas Ballers Club podcast. We've got the usual crew. We've got myself, Bennett,
David.
Clayton.
and today we are going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys Week 4 game at home against the New England Patriots, America's Game of the Week. It's on Fox. Yeah, it's on Fox. This is one that I'm actually really excited for. I will be at the game Sunday. We'll be producing some content for sure. So that'll be a lot of fun. But
Subtle flex.
yeah, so humble brag. Sorry. Didn't buy the tickets. Shout out to my girlfriend and her dad, whatever. Anyways, yeah, very yeah, plug God.
Fucking Jake Marsh over here. Come on.
But yeah, just to give y'all, the listeners, a little roadmap. It's going to be kind of the same format as our other preview episodes. We're going to give y'all some updates. Spank will hit y'all with that in just a second. We're going to break down the offense, give y'all our killers of the week. We're going to break down the defense, give y'all our hot boys. Then we're going to roll into some predictions, and then maybe a little cover zero action at the end. And then we'll wrap it up. So without further ado, Spanky, you have some transactional news for the boys today.
Devin Harper was released, which, I mean, many people believe it's calling up Malik Jefferson, who suffered a preseason injury. Surely could be better, help bolster our linebacking core, which has been very lackluster. If people have noticed that CeeDee Lamb and DeMarcus Lawrence didn't practice yesterday, those were just vet off days, a little load management by Mike McCarthy after a couple injuries during practice. That's a good sign. They're back to a full participant today. Pollard had today off, though. So, but that was just a load management day as well. We see two offensive lineman starters return with Zach Martin and Tyler Biadasz.
There you go.
And,
hey,
boy.
Yeah,
Hey.
thank you. That's key. Tyron is still not practicing. He's been working with the rehab group. People, they say he's in good spirits, so I'm not really sure where to stand. I need to ask my inside source where he stands. As you know, we're a DBC podcast. We have sources,
Right.
people.
Yep.
But if he's not revving to go, not 100%, I still think this is a week where our front office is going to think long term, and hopefully we don't see Edoga out wide. Hopefully it's Asim Richards. I would like a change of things. Edoga didn't work, so let's not beat a dead horse with that. But other than that, no new injuries, no new nothing. Tyron not practicing. Everyone else is. We're good to go.
Sweet. So yeah, somewhat surprising about Harper. This is a guy that I know we were all pretty high on him when we drafted him, especially the speed aspect. But
yeah,
a little bit surprising.
It's definitely in relation to how poor our run defense has been once they get past our defensive line. We said it from the get-go. Malik Jefferson was really, barring LVE, who really hasn't been really that good this year, the only Mike linebacker on our roster big enough to hold down the middle of the field in terms of run defense. So,
yeah,
as much as we really liked being loyal to people who we drafted, we got to get results from someone. So, fuck it.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Yeah, like it. So with that being said, we'll start out here with our offensive breakdown, and then we'll give y'all our killers predictions of the week. I did want, we talked about it before we started, just wanted to put this stat out there to kind of get this breakdown started. I already told it to you guys. Two things, actually. The first is Christian Gonzalez will be traveling with CD this week. I thought that's pretty interesting. He's very good.
Yeah, he played very
well. We talked
well
about him. Yeah, he's been really good so far.
Assassin, kind of a badass nickname.
I agree. And this was a question that we asked and that we talked about last time on the pod. It's about a red zone offense, which is kind of how I wanted to start with this. We've all talked about at length how bad it is. So I did some research yesterday during lunch. Cowboys are 6 for 15 touchdown percentage in the red zone this year. They've reached the red zone 15 times, scored touchdowns on 6 of those times. 40% tied for 27th in the NFL with the Jets with Zach Wilson and the Saints with Derek Carr / Jameis Winston / whatever Taysom Hill does now. And the only teams worse than us are the Bucks, the Titans, who are god awful, and the Texans, who are rebuilding. So obviously not great. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I have a stat about New England's red zone percentage, but we'll talk about that when we get to the defensive side. But I am just wanted to start with the offense. We'll do the same style. We'll go around the horn. Spanky, I want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, this has to be a wake up kind of game for our offense. I believe Bussin' with the Boys declares it a get right game. We really need that. In recent memory, our offense has really responded after such a dud. If you think in recent memory, we played the Broncos, got killed by them. Next week, we won 40-3. We put up a bullshit performance against Washington in Week 18 last year. And in the wild card round, you saw what Dak did against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Belichick is a different animal, and you already said it. Christian Gonzalez is following CD. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. But honestly, if you were to tell me a rookie cornerback is following number 88, I would say, okay, like, fuck it. I mean, he's going to get the best corners game in, game out. Let's go. Like, strap up the boots, CD. And in response to your red zone stat, CD was also asked about this today and said, give me the rock, and I know what to do to score. So there has to be some push-pull with our offense. The only three receiving touchdowns was Dowdle on a screen, Dowdle on a screen, Ferguson, and Schoonmaker. Those are the only receiving touchdowns. The wide receivers really need to step up this week. And I really think this is a week where they will. Sure, Belichick's defenses are always unanimously great. They're great. His game plan, the scheme, they're notorious for taking away our best player, the team's best player on offense. Whether that's CD, whether that's Pollard, we got to know where to respond. And I believe we do. I believe we can. Mike McCarthy, Schottenheimer, Dak, they all saw the reviews after last week's dud performance. They've heard part of my take. They've seen all the Twitter takes. I mean, these are humans too, and hopefully we see people come out pissed off after that absolute dud embarrassment of last week. I really expect us to throw the ball better than we run the ball against the New England Patriots. I believe the Patriots have the 5th best run stop rate in the league. They just have a bunch of ballers in that front seven. Keep in mind, they also have Jabril Peppers, who's a really good box kind of gadget player. So I don't really forecast a great game out of Pollard. We'll probably get a decent to good game out of him, probably somewhere in the ballpark of 80 yards, but I don't really forecast him going north of that. I really see us getting and utilizing our wide receiver room a lot. And it begs the question, we need Brandon Cooks and Gallup to step up. Gallup stepped up last week. Majority of it was off coverage, garbage time, but we really need Brandon Cooks to get open, simply put. He needs to create separation. He's getting matched up against a cornerback 2, which is what, Jack Jones, something like that on the Patriots.
Isn't he in jail?
It's
they have 2 Jones.
They have
Jonathan
Jones. 4.
Yeah,
Jonathan
4
Jones,
corners, all named Jones. They
Jalen
have Marcus
Mills.
Jones.
Marcus Jones.
Jalen Mills also.
Marcus, Jonathan, and
Oh God, Jalen Mills
or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, at least the
CD
Patriots
son.
learned their. Yeah, at least the Patriots learned their lesson on Jalen Mills guarding CD last year. But that being said, our wide receivers need to create separation. You'll see the casuals who don't crunch tape as we do say, oh, that performance was on Dak. Dak didn't really have a good game. If you crunch the numbers and look at snippets of all 22 film and even just click on Twitter and pull up people reviewing film, you'll see our wide receivers did not get open last week. And that's a very scary thing. I want to chalk it up just to being a dud. Cowboys are notorious to having just dud offensive games through the McCarthy era, through the Kellen Moore era, and through the Jason Garrett era. We're just notorious for these duds every once in a while. And so what helps us get out of those duds are when our best players and our playmakers create separation and make the game easy on Dak. I expect a lot of short to intermediate passing, not to ramble on so much, but I expect us to build Dak's confidence early and often, especially with a run game not forecasted, at least by me, to be monumental in its success. It'll be push-pull, 50-50 game. But us getting Tyler B and Zach back should be really, really fucking good.
Tyler B.
Yeah.
You said a bunch of stuff I was going to talk about, Spanky, especially Jabril Peppers loading up in the box. He likes to hit. He's good. I like him a lot. But the one other name didn't mention was Matthew Judon. You can't let one person beat you on defense. And he's that person that can do that. He can beat you on. He can ruin your whole game plan if he wants him to. If he wants to. And so that's why I'm really interested to see. I guess we're saying Tyron's going to be out. He could wreck that left side and Dak's blind side all game if he wanted to. So I think Spanky's right about the going short intermediate routes, getting the ball out quick. And also the other thing is Tony Pollard. I agree with that. I don't think he's going to run the ball as well with that 5th ranked rushing defense. So I think you got to get him the ball in his hands a lot different. Get him out quick, get him out in those flats, and see if he can beat those outside linebackers and those safeties, make them miss, get some big plays out of them. And I think you're right, Spanky. Everything else you said was perfect. I don't have much else to say except for facing a Bill Belichick defense. It's always gonna be nerve-wracking facing him. I mean, that interview he gave out the other day, he talked about C.J. Goodwin.
The fucking paragraph, man. Holy shit.
Dude, that was an essay. That was a college essay.
Opposite of Kyler Murray film breakdowns.
Yeah, so I mean, he knows his team inside and out. Hopefully Mike McCarthy knows that this defense inside and out, because it's gonna be a long game. It's gonna be a tough game, and better be ready to play.
Yeah. You guys both bring up a lot of great points. I was just taking a look at the Patriots defense. This is a really, really good defense. You look at all 3 levels, they've got guys at every level. You look at their D-line, Dietrich Wise, Devon Cho, Lawrence Guy, all very solid. They've got Keon White, who's a rookie out of I think Georgia Tech. They've got Christian Barmore too. Like, they've got guys. You look at their second level, Jawan Bentley, Jelani Tavai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And obviously Judon and Josh Uche, who's also solid. And they've got a very, very solid secondary. They have 3 cornerbacks named Jones, just for the record. 2 of them are on IR. Marcus and Jack are on IR. Jonathan Jones is healthy. They've got
he's limited in practice today, Jonathan Jones. Same with Barmore and
so that means
Cho. Yeah.
Good show. Okay. Well, that's good to know. But yeah, that secondary, dude, really good players too. They've got a really good safety room, actually. Jabril Peppers, and I forgot about Kyle Duggar, stud. And they have Adrian Phillips too. This is a really, really good defense. But I think for us offensively, I think, again, especially with what we saw last week, and you already kind of touched on this, Spanky, but it all starts with 4. And I think that this is a week, and this is kind of leaking my potentially where I'm looking for my hot boy of the week, but I think this is a Dak game. I know we all remember the overtime game in 2021. Awesome game. I mean, we all watched it together when we were down at school. But just going back and looking at the box score for this game, it's actually insane. Like, I forgot how nuts this game was when, like, Trayvon had the pick 6 in that game. Like, it was crazy. But I was looking at Dak's stat line: 36 for 51, 445 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. CD had 9 for 149 and 2 touchdowns also. Blake Jarwin even threw in a 1-yard touchdown, 1 catch, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. Shout out to Jaws. But yeah, just I think this is a Dak game. We said it. Well, we said it week 1. And obviously with the way that game played out, we didn't need him to really do much. I think this is a game where, like you said, Pollard's going to be running into the teeth of a very tough front 7. It's a Belichick defense. You know, they never get gashed in the run game. I think this is a Dak game. I'm not saying 440 yards and 51 pass attempts, but I'm saying that this is a game where we probably see him, just like you said, Spank. I really like that point, getting him in a rhythm early. The one thing that I've never understood about the Cowboys under McCarthy is that everyone acknowledges how much better Dak is when he is just quick firing, getting in a rhythm, offense is going up tempo, but we don't do it. We don't run it ever. Like and I get it because it's a double-edged sword because the Cowboys love to run the ball, just beat teams up front and just go on these long touchdown drives that take a lot out of a defense and just wear them out. And that's been a staple of the Cowboys for the last decade plus with Zeke, now with Pollard, even when we had Alfred Morris, McFadden, like in the backfield, and DeMarco Murray, it's been a staple. But I do hope that we, at least on some drives, can see some variation where it's, maybe not every drive is, just that quick hit, quick hit, quick hit. But I hope that we can at least mix it in more this week because I feel like the only time that we've really seen it this season, we saw it against the Jets early, and it was good. Dak got in a rhythm early, and he looked comfortable against a very, very good Jets defense. And so I really hope that we come out swinging. I hope more than anything that this team is pissed off after what everyone has said, including us especially, of that fucking embarrassment train wreck last week. I hope that we come out swinging. I hope I've never been a big win the toss and take the ball kind of guy. I'll always defer to the second half, especially against Belichick. We know he loves to do his double up thing where they score right before half and then get the ball coming out. But if the opportunity is there, I hope that this team is pissed off and has a great game plan and they have the mentality of, okay, let's take the ball, let's go down the field, get 7 on the board, get in a rhythm early, and let's just keep fucking pounding them. I really hope that we see that this week. And just like you said, really, really hope that the wide receiver room steps up. Cooks needs to have a big game. Hopefully Gallup is there too. Hopefully we see our boy Jay Ferg get some action this week. But it all starts with 4. And like I said, I think this is a Dak game, and I'm very excited to see what Dak does.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go off that point, just one more kind of blabble out of me. I really don't think we see that high of usage of Tony Pollard that we've saw in the past 3 weeks. I think we really see a committee be used today or Sunday. I think we use Dowdle. I think we use Vaughn, and I think we use Lipke. And I think it's all going to be scheme and context dependent, but I really think we get the ball in our best playmakers' hands. And when Tony Pollard's gassed and when he's going off to the sideline, I have faith in Dowdle. I have faith in Deuce. I want to see that. And to go off on a point that I made and you kind of reiterated, to get Dak in rhythm, fuck it. Line up. Let's see some Deuce Vaughn on a Texas route. Let's see Deuce Vaughn on a linebacker. Let's see this. Let's create our own mismatches. Let's not play into Bill's hand. Let's create our own mismatches. And Deuce Vaughn against a linebacker and man coverage, that's a mismatch if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, I mean, unless y'all have anything else to add, I say we just roll into our picks for our Killaz this week. Yeah, Spanky, your killer of the week.
I'm just gonna lead it off hot on one. I'm not gonna take 4 from Berkey. CeeDee Lamb is gonna be my guy this week. He hasn't found the end zone this year. As much as people want to say they're team players and they're happy with their team winning, they want to score a touchdown, especially CeeDee Lamb, a player of that caliber. He didn't have a good week last week. I expect us to kind of Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown him, where we just kind of force feed him occasionally and set him up. Maybe we run some bubble screens. Maybe we run some short and intermediate routes where we just get the ball in his hand and see what he can do.
Yeah.
And I just really think he goes off this week. I don't want to do a stat prediction, but I really think he gets a touchdown this week.
I love that.
Yeah, I was thinking Lamb too. But I'm going to go. I think he also scores a touchdown this week as well. But I'm going to go with Because I don't really want to go. I agree with what y'all are saying about the running backs. This can be committee. I do think I'll say it for later. Cover zero take later, but I'm going to go with Brandon Cooks. This is
Yes.
this is a game that he can in that slot get open and go after Duggar and whoever he lines up against in that slot corner, whoever they play that slot corner. I'm excited to see him. He needs to step up this week. He was non-existent. I mean, 7 targets for 2 catches last week is ridiculous. He needs to get open. And I think this is a week where the second week after that knee injury coming off of it, more comfortable in this offense. I think he's going to get the intermediate routes, and he's going to have 8 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown.
I love that. Y'all took the 2 picks that I really wanted y'all to take because that plays in perfectly. I already alluded to it. My killer of the week is Dak Prescott. I already talked about it, but I think this is a game. I mean, just the stuff that's been out there this week. I mean, it's the typical, Dak sucks, Dak is ass, all that shit. You already mentioned it, Spanky. I know Dak sees that. He might not. He might play it off like he doesn't. He's a human being. I know he sees that. He knows LaShawn McCoy is foaming at the mouth, waiting to call him ass on national television again. And I really think that this is a game, just like he did the last time that he played New England. Which is that the only time that we've played New England in his career? Maybe one other time. I think there was one other time actually, but this is a game where Dak comes in, he does his thing, and I think we see a big game out of Dak. And I fully agree with y'all's takes. I think we see a big game out of CeeDee Lamb. I think we see a big game out of Brandon Cooks, and I'm really excited for it. So with that being said, offensively, our picks: CeeDee Lamb, Spanky, Brandon Cooks, Stu, and myself. I took 4, Dak Prescott. So let's roll into the defense. This is one that I'm also really excited to talk about, and I'm excited to see how they respond, especially after last week. The good thing is that Mac Jones not a runner, so don't have that to worry about. And Mac Jones, to his credit, hasn't played that poorly this year. He's actually looked pretty solid, to his credit. The Patriots offense is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. They've got a good run game. We know that. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson and Zeke. Yeah, they've got not a great receiver room by any means, but they've got a scrappy little receiver room. They've got a solid O line, and they've got a really solid tight end room. So I am really interested to see, how it all shakes out. I'm especially looking to see how our defense responds. But I, as per usual, I do want to get y'all's thoughts. But I did want to start out by saying it is really interesting. And I was just reminded of this because I'm looking at the depth chart this week at their QB3, Will Grier, Cowboys preseason legend. Yeah, Pat signed Will Grier. I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. And I know Brian Schottenheimer said that they're going to be changing up their the hand signals on offense this week. The Cowboys will, due to Will Grier and because of Zeke, which is good, which is definitely good. But yeah, that was just a little nugget I was just reminded about. But yeah, I want to get y'all's thoughts on their offense and our defense. So
yeah, absolutely. I'll get us started. I just want to start us with an intro against Arizona, as we might.
Your mic kind of cut out for a sec.
Oh shit!
You're good now.
Yeah, you're good. You're good now.
Am I good now?
Yeah. You're good. You're good.
Arizona had 21 carries for 207 yards and 2 touchdowns on runs outside the tackles. Inside the tackles, they had 7 carries for 17 yards.
Wow, that's a lot better than I thought.
Not to mention,
that chart
the
was
Cowboys
nuts.
stuffed 28% of runs, running back carries for 0 gain or a loss, which is 4th in the league, but ranked 29th in second-level yards per carry, those between the 5 and 10 yards downfield, which both these stats show us that run defense is more than Jonathan Hankins, Mozzie Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence. It's more than that. And with a player like Ramondre Stevenson and with a player like Ezekiel Elliott going on his revenge tour, it's going to be really interesting to see if our defense can step up. A player under my microscope personally is going to be Leighton Vander Esch. He really hasn't played well this year. We really need him to step up in a big way and take over games like he did his rookie year. I know he had the neck injury prior, but we really need him to step up. Our run defense, I mean, those stats alone show us once you get past our D-line, it's anybody's game, and that's a bad fucking stat to have. I'm really not over the moon. I would say the Patriots have a below average offensive line. It's nothing special, but nothing horrible. I really see our defensive line creating pressure and really helping in the run game, but those chunk plays always happen against our defense, and it's about minimizing that. And that starts with our linebacking core, which we already touched on. Devin Harper got cut. Malik Jefferson's projected to be brought up for Sunday. Man, we just need to contain him. Let Mac Jones beat us through the air, and that should be our motto. That should be let's play press man. I don't want to see any off coverage. Us giving those little dinky dunks phases into what we said about Dak is we can't let Mac Jones get into a rhythm either. And that starts with just let's play some hard-nosed physical defense. Let's shut down their run. I believe we can. We really need D-Law, Hankins, Micah. We need our D-line to step up. They were heavily criticized after last week. Certain people on Twitter, maybe myself, said our defensive line were playing hero ball. And that simply put can't happen. Even if they get through our line of scrimmage, we need Donovan Wilson showing what his best asset is on our defense, and that's run support. We need Van Der Esch flying. We need Damone Clark registering plays. It all comes down to that. You said their wide receiver room was all right. Get out of here. Their wide receiver room's ass. I mean,
I was being modest.
I don't really want to go tit for tat on anything, but I mean, if Juju Smith-Schuster and Kendrick Bourne scare you, you're in for a rude surprise next week, simply put. So I really hope our corners have a get-right game as well. Bland and Gilmore, a homecoming for Stephon Gilmore for his depoy campaigns. And I'm really excited. I think it all starts with the trenches, similarly to offense. If we shut down the Patriots' run game, I think it's going to be a very, very fun game to watch for our defensive line to get active against Mac Jones.
That was great, Spank. I agree with everything you said. That stat about running outside and running inside, that's Zeke right there, right up the middle. I don't see, and Mike already talked about it, I think yesterday or today. We talked about him and Zeke already going back and forth. It's like talking about in the prior years, talking about how if I played against you, I would knock your ass out. Stuff like that. It's pretty funny. But I agree with the statement about the running game. Ramondre, I like him a lot. He's a good runner, but we have to contain them. And I think we will contain him this week for the fact that Mac Jones can't run. He can't scramble. He's not. I mean, Josh Dobbs ran all over us 4 for 55 or whatever it was.
Elite.
But yeah, elite quarterback. Thanks, Bert. But I do think that this is a make or break week for LVE. I want to see him play his normal position. I don't want to see him lined up on the outside. I want to see him in the middle. And my prediction, he has 10 plus tackles this game. This is make him play in the middle and make him hit Ramondre and Ezekiel all game long. And I want to see him do that. And make Mac Jones beat us to the air if that's the case. Like what Spanky said. The wide receiver room is god awful. Juju's bum knee, reports or whatever about his knee
could explode at any moment. Yep,
exactly.
Crazy.
I do like the tight end room. Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki. It doesn't scare me, but I do like it. That's a little comfort for Mac Jones there, getting the ball out in the flats to them. But I do think their O line is not good in the pass game. This is a game where Micah and D-Law can go out in the attack on the outside, get around those right and left tackles, and wreak havoc on Mac Jones. And I don't think that Mac Jones is capable of having a good game whatsoever. And this is a game where I want to see takeovers as well. We need some interceptions, some fumbles. We didn't have any last game. We all know what happened in the game before in the first game, but none last week was very disappointing. I want to see this defense run, get the ball, strip fumble from Zeke, from Micah. That would be awesome. And I think we're gonna have 1 or 2 turnovers, interceptions as well.
Yeah, I love it. I don't have too much more to add. Just want to say, I was being modest about the Patriots receiver room. It's pretty bad. I just didn't want to say it, but whatever. Yeah, not a great receiver room. Yeah, I think this game for the Patriots offensively, it just like we said, it's all dependent upon their run game. Their run game is going to be everything. If we can stop that, we're going to be fine. That that point that you made about the outside run versus the inside run is insane. I mean, I remember I saw that James Conner run chart. I think I sent it to y'all about like it was charting all of his runs that he had last week, and pretty much all of his carries were outside the tackles, which is insane. Because I mean, just like we said on Monday, we made James Conner look elite, which he's not. Shout out to James Conner, but not an elite running back. Like, sorry, not going to get paid either. Just like Spanky said, but it's a game where, just like we said, linebackers need to step up. Linebackers have been pretty quiet all season, especially we talked about it even after the first 2 weeks. We said everyone's been making plays on this defense. Everyone's been looking really good, but we haven't heard anything from the linebackers. And I think this is a week where hopefully it's not necessarily a get right game for our defense, because I don't even think specifically with our linebackers that they've been right this entire season. I think this is a get on track game for them. It's let's figure out what we've been doing wrong. I hope they've been, working their tails off in practice and they're pissed off. Just like you said with Van Der Esch, just like both y'all said, I hope that they come in pissed off and that they're ready to hit, because Ramondre Stevenson and Zeke, we know they're not afraid to lower the shoulder and hit, especially Zeke coming back to Dallas. He's going to have a little chip on his shoulder this game. Ramondre Stevenson is like big Isaiah Pacheco. Like, he just runs angry. He runs mean. Really like the way he runs. Very solid player. And yeah, I'm excited for this game as a whole. I'm excited to see how our defense responds. And unless y'all have anything else to add.
I actually do. Ramondre out of the backfield is arguably a bigger threat to our defense than Ramondre running the ball. He's one of the best dual threat running backs, in the league.
Very underrated.
Stats. He's top 5 receiving yards. Yeah, top 5 receiving yards.
They're gonna feed him, and so to go into that point, who's matched up on the running back in the pass game? A linebacker. Maybe we see a lot more John Wayne Thomas, Marquise Bell, maybe Damone Clark on him. I don't know. But in the pass game, it's going to be very interesting to see those one-on-one matchups, because we know Dan Quinn likes getting creative. And when he gets creative, normally it's man coverage in the back. So it's going to be very interesting. That's arguably his best trait as a running back, is how effective he is in the pass game. So Bill Belichick's going to see how piss poor outside tackle runs were for the Cowboys last week. How do you exploit it? Maybe just a little bubble screen to Ramondre, get the ball in his hands outside the tackles, and force us to play at one of our weaker points. So it's going to be interesting to see in that regard. Also, it's going to be very interesting to see how Jaron Kearse responds. Clayton alluded to their tight end room is actually very good. Gesicki and Hunter Henry are good players. Jaron Kearse is infamous for saying he is the best coverage on tight end coverage safety in the league. He said that very vocally last year and led us on to believe that. So it's time for him to put up or shut up. He didn't really have a great game last week either. His angles, he looked stuck in the mud. you name it. So between Jaron Kearse and Donovan Wilson, John Wayne Thomas, whoever's matched up on these tight ends, we really need them to perform because this tight end room is a lot better than their wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say one more last thing as well. It's more about this Patriots offense. They've scored 20 points, 17 points, and 15 points in 3 games, respectively. They're not going to score a lot of points. I don't think they're designed to score a lot of points. So this game will be. We're gonna get to our score prediction later, but before that, I'm gonna say that they're gonna score maybe 17 points this game, and as long as we score more than that, we'll win, which is I think we'll do. So they're not going to just air it out, run down our throats, make a bunch of plays, and have 3 to 4 touchdowns. They're just not. They don't have the capability of doing that. So I think this will be a lower scoring game than people realize. The over/under is 43.5. So I think that's about right, I would say. That's what their offense is not going to score a lot of points.
Yeah. And just one last thing I wanted to add. I know I said I would talk about it when we got to the defensive side of the ball, touching on the red zone touchdown percentage stat that I talked about for our offense. I'm actually curious to see how y'all think they fare. Guess where the Patriots rank and red zone touchdown percentage for 2023
Bottom.
so far.
Bottom.
Like,
I'm gonna say they're top 10.
I would say I'm gonna fade him. I'm gonna say bottom 5.
Okay. Stu is correct. They are 6th in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage, 71.43%.
Holy shit.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
But I mean, they've only scored like 5 touchdowns this year. Like it just doesn't seem like they scored 20, 17, and 15. So like they just don't get there enough, I guess.
Very diluted stats right there.
They are ranked behind the Dolphins, the Packers, the Browns, the Chiefs, and the Ravens.
Arguably the best offenses in football. That's fun.
Yeah. So and I mean, again, take that stat with a grain of salt. We're 3 weeks into the season, but I just thought that was an interesting nugget because when I saw that when I was doing my digging, I had to do a double take. I was like, what? Like I was like, we're bottom 5 and they're top 6. Okay, just thought that was interesting. But yeah. So that pretty much wraps up our defensive recap. But so to finally put a button on it, let's give our hot boys of the week. We'll go around the horn. Spanky, I feel like
let's start with Clayton. Let's start with Bennett and let's go reverse order for defense because I hate starting it off every single time. So let's go reverse order.
Oh, we're doing this again. Oh God.
All right. I already know mine.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna defer this one to Stu.
All right. It's I already said earlier, 10 plus tackles for LVE. This is our make or break game for him. And I think Dan Quinn's going to stop being cute with him and going to put him right in the middle. And 10 plus tackles for LVE.
I had a feeling that was, yeah. I mean, I could tell by Spanky's reaction and the way that he talked about him that was definitely that was your pick, wasn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if our no, it wasn't my pick, but
really?
I don't know if we want Van Der Esch making 10 plus tackles.
Honestly. No, I do. I want to see it. I'm okay with it. That's 3 to 4 yards. That's 3 to 4 yards a carry.
Okay. Well,
get him right in the middle.
Okay, I'm actually surprised because I thought that was going to be Spanky's pick. So now I'm really curious to know what yours is, but I'll take the heat off you for a second. Let's see. My hot boy of the week. Didn't think I was going to be going second, so that's tough. I'm going to say
panic Micah Parsons pick right here.
No. Well, did it cross my mind? Yes. Am I going to go with it? No.
For the viewers, Micah Parsons is our group's pick every single week for the hot boy of the week.
Yeah.
It goes without saying.
Yeah. I mean, that's without a doubt. I mean, we get to watch history in the making every single time he steps on the field. It's awesome. But I'm not going to pick him. I can't. So who I will pick, and I know I'm stalling here, I'm going to pick. I'm going to finally stay out of the cornerback room this time. I'm gonna go with.
Pick one. Come on.
Shot clock.
You
Five.
know what? You know what? You know
Four.
what? Bounce back week. Malik Hooker. How about that?
Okay.
I want to see him play. I want to see him play some center field this week, and I want to say I'm not gonna say 10 tackles. You know what? I'm not even gonna do a stat prediction.
Malik Hooker to make it 10 tackles.
No,
Yeah, you don't
no,
want that
absolutely
one.
not. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do any stat prediction. I'm just going to say Malik Hooker has a bounce back week. I'll say that.
All right, and I alluded to it with kind of the Jabril Peppers thing and the tight end room for the Patriots. I don't know if we can do a joint one, but I'm going to say the strong safety on the field. J-Ron Curse and Donovan Wilson need to have a big game, because if they have big games, that nullifies the Patriots' offensive threat. J-Ron Curse mainly run game and covering tight ends, and I really want to see Donovan Wilson fly across the field. We really missed that last week, especially. He looked a bit rusty. I'm going to chalk it up as a preseason game for him, but I really want to say, and you know what? Fuck it. I'll go bold. I think Donovan Wilson has a forced fumble, and I think J-Ron Curse has that fumble recovery.
If that happens, that clip's going everywhere. Okay, good. But okay, so that's actually funny. I want to give a shout out to our main man Donovan Wilson. I think this is his 4th week out of 4 weeks being picked as a hot boy of the week, and this will be his second game. So shout out to Dono. Shout out to Dono, man. So yeah, that was
Get on the pod, Dono.
Yeah, come on the pod. Come on the pod. We're clearly fanboys. But yeah, okay. So our hot boys of the week, Stu had the Wolf, Leighton Vander Esch. Spanky had J-Ron Curse and Donovan Wilson, and I had Malik Hooker. So we're all in on the safety room this week. And Stu's all in on LVE. So with that being said, just to finish out here before we get to our cover zero and our wrap up, let's get some score predictions in there. So just for awareness for the listeners, over under 43.5, Cowboys minus 6.5 at home against the Patriots this week. Let's go with our score predictions. And if you have any player predictions, Spanky, you already kind of gave one, but we'll give you another in there. We're gonna try to limit it to a person, so we're not just firing from the hip. Yeah, it's not gonna be blindfolded spray and pray. So let's go score predictions. Does anyone want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Cowboys 27, Patriots 17. We cover barely. Or I guess we go over barely.
Oh, I also wanted to throw in there, we all had us winning this game this week in our preseason predictions.
Once we start our episode 1 podcast, we talked about this game and we did our predictions. My thing was that this could be a look ahead spot, and we look ahead, but now it's like this can't be a look ahead spot. You have to dominate this game. We win 24-13.
24-13. Okay. I'm gonna say I think we cover, but I think it's a close cover. I'm gonna say 27-20. Cowboys win. Cover 6.5, but barely. I really like that 27 number for the Cowboys. I think 20 safe with the Patriots. We'll give. I mean, I do think Zeke is going to score a touchdown this week.
For sure.
Definitely.
I don't know what the odds are on that, but I mean, I'm going to have to put something on it. If he doesn't score a touchdown, I'll be shocked. I think if the Patriots get to the goal line, Belichick might give him 4 straight carries out of just pure respect.
Like a wildcat with Zeke.
Yeah, that would be something. Okay. Now, do we have any player predictions this week?
CeeDee Lamb 2 touchdowns.
Whoa. Okay.
I like that. I was going to say CeeDee Lamb for a touchdown as well. I already knew you were going to say that. So I'm going to go. We figure out our goal line offense at the 1 yard line, and we give Hunter Lipke a shot. He scores.
Dude, I was low key thinking that when we started. When we were talking about our running backs, I was like, dude, what if Lipke gets one? Like against the Patriots, dude, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like those. Really, really like those. I'm gonna say Brandon Cooks gets his first Dallas Cowboys touchdown this week.
Nice.
And then, do y'all have
I'm on that at
anything?
all.
Y'all have anything on the defensive side, or you just want to stick offensive? Spanky,
I guess I'll go
Yeah.
in twos here. Micah gets 2.5 sacks.
tying his career high. Okay.
Mine's just going to be LVE 10 plus tackles.
Oh boy.
Spanky, I'm also gonna throw in there. I'm just putting the doc together for the viewers. Sorry, it's bad podcasting, but I'm just putting all of our predictions together so we can keep track of it. Spanky also did have the absurd Wilson forced fumble plus curse recovery, which I mean,
It's got to count for the inverse of that too. If Curse forces the fumble, Dono fucking
Okay.
recovers it. I mean, I need some credit on
okay,
that. You know?
okay. So it's
It's
a
not a
contingency.
0% shot
It's a-
accuracy if I guess the inverse of it. You know?
Worst case, if Wilson forces a fumble and let's say like Gilmore recovers it, we'll just cut the part where you said Curse recovers, and we'll be like, oh,
Don't
Forced
do Wilson
fumble.
force fumble.
yeah, Curse fumble recovery.
Yeah.
Do you all forced it? I'm gonna say well, I don't want to double down on Hooker because I already
Burke and
feel a
thinking
little
today,
bit.
huh?
I know.
Burke and thinking today.
I know. Should have prepared. Should have prepared a little better. That's on me. I'm gonna say DeMarcus Lawrence this week. Fuck it, I'll go bold. DeMarcus Lawrence strip sack. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence strip sack, forced fumble, sack.
I like it.
And so yeah, betting, as you can tell by all of our picks, we're all believers in. Actually, no, we're not all believers. Sorry, Stu's a believer in the under this week. And Spanky and I are believers in the over, and the one common denominator is that we're all a believer in a Cowboys cover.
I'm probably going to do a teaser this week as well on this game.
Okay.
And get Cowboys even or -0.5 and then over 37.5, 36.5, whichever would be.
Okay. So that pretty much wraps up. Did we have any cover zero takes that we want to fire off?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Mac Jones. It's a very hot take. Mac Jones gets benched in second half.
For Bailey Zappi?
Yeah. They score like 3 points and
What if
and he
they
gets
bring
benched.
Greer in and he has just a fucking legacy game?
That would be an ultimate revenge game. Wow. Okay. That was a lot bolder than I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, my cover zero takes nowhere near as bold. Clayton already alluded to it. Our red zone offense figures it the fuck out. I mean, I got to be hopeful for something. So, and I guess that could be a bold take after 3 weeks watching our
Yeah, it
offensive
could be.
performance.
Definitely could be.
Red zone offense figures it out. Okay. I'll go like I said, this is a Dak game. I'll say Dak goes for 300 plus this week. 300 plus and 2 or more touchdowns. I think this is
and Brandon Cooks, hopefully.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, do you guys have anything else?
That's it.
Nope.
All right.
Good.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up for our week 4 preview and episode 7. And with that being said, we will see you. Actually, no. Thank you guys for joining us today. Sorry. And we will see you guys on Monday. Thank y'all for listening.
Boom!
Thank you.